I wish you pleasant morning today. Dear students, good morning to everyone. Let me introduce myself. I am B.Y.Sankar. Today I am taking the class for 11th, Unit 5, Plant Physiology, Chapter 12, Mineral Nutrition. Mineral Nutrition. We are going to cultivation of some plants in gardens. We are growing the cultivation of the gardens and plants. A few days observed. Can you tell me all the plants are equal height for growth? For growth and equal height. Can you tell me that all the plants are a few days observed? Can you tell me all the plants equal growth and equal heights? No, some plants are only stunted growth, some plants are only in height. Due to affect by these only symptoms and deficiency of minerals. Why do some plants are only certain growth? Some plants are only growing the height? Due to caused by these symptoms appearing the some plants, deficiency of mineral nutrition. Some plants observed, it may be growth of only differ from this only in some plants in garden, because these plants are obtain the more nutrition. These plants are obtained only less nutrition. Less nutrition are not absorbed from the only nutrition. Some plants are affected by this only some other diseases due to chlorosis, due to necrosis, due to stunted growth and texture changes. It may be caused by this only chlorosis, necrosis, stunted growth, and texture changes. It may be some plants are appearing in the gardens. These chapters learn about classification of minerals and their functions. Deficiency of diseases, diseases and symptoms. And third one is nitrogen metabolisms. Some special mode of nutrition. This chapter is learning about mineral nutrition, classification of minerals and their functions. The second one is a deficiency of disease. How to disease caused by this? Disease caused by some pathogens like virus, bacteria, some fungi and protozoa. This is caused by some pathogens like virus, bacteria, fungi and protozoa. Maybe symptoms, it may be appears only chlorosis and necrosis. So chlorosis means the loss of the chlorophyll pigments. So necrosis means the death of these chlorophyll pigments. These are these chlorophyll pigments. Next one is nitrogen metabolism. Then fourth one is some special mode of nutrition. There are different types of mode of nutrition occurs only in green plants. Now we discuss about first chapters, classification of minerals and their functions. What is mineral nutrients? Mineral nutrients are mineral elements. These mineral elements obtain their soil, atmosphere, air, water, atmosphere, air and water. They required for growth and development. What is mineral elements or what is mineral nutrients? These elements, mineral nutrition elements, obtain their soil and atmosphere, air and water. They require for growth and development of the plant body of plants. Is known as mineral nutrients. They absorb, their process are involved. Absorptions, translocations, and assimilations. Assimilation or photosynthesis process. Where it occurs the mineral nutrients in growing of the plants. The growing of the plants, the soil contains mineral nutrients, the atmosphere, air contains mineral nutrients, and waters contains mineral nutrients. The mineral nutrients obtained from the soil, atmosphere, air, and waters. During the photosynthesis process, sunlight intake of carbon dioxide and removal of oxygen. They synthesis of only glucose, C6H12O6. That's organic substances. They can produce from this only during it involves only photosynthesis process. That's assimilation process. This water absorbs in the first process, uptake of only translocation in the third process, the synthesis of food material, that is called assimilations. That's the third process. Translocations, the water and the minerals translocate from this only through the xylem and flowing elements, through the root to stem system, stem to leaf system. That process called translocations. Absorption of water and minerals through the root hairs. So what is mineral nutrients or mineral elements? The elements obtain their soil, atmosphere, air and water. They are required for growth and development of plants. The requirement of growth and development of plants, that is called mineral nutrients. These processes are involved absorption, translocation and assimilation. Assimilation also called photosynthesis process. This is synthesis of food material. That's a carbohydrate, fats and proteins. For examples, mineral nutrients examples: magnesium, calcium, sulfur is found in only soil particles. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen is found in only air and waters. Nitrogen also. Air and waters. The classification are based on the minerals essentialities. This term denoted by this only are known and stout. In draft 1939, the mineral nutrients essentialities based on the condition. The first one is say elements necessary for growth and developments. Some elements, macro elements, then micro elements, and classified mineral elements necessary for growth and developments. During the formation of only flower formations, fruit formations, and seed formations. So it may be development of only flower formations, fruit formation, seed formations. It occurs only due to necessary for only macronutrient elements, micronutrient elements. Some unclassified mineral elements are necessary for the growth and developments. Second point, they should have direct role in metabolisms. The second point, they should have direct role in metabolism. So metabolism, both processes are involved. First one is anabolic process, and second one is catabolic process. Anabolic process and catabolic process. They can synthesize only anabolic and catabolic. So anabolic, that is called synthesis process. Synthesis process. Catabolic is a breakdown of the molecules. Breakdown in molecules. Breakdown the molecules. Both processes are involved the metabolic activities. Metabolic activities, synthesis and breakdown the molecules. It involves only mineral nutrition elements. Mineral nutrition. They should have direct role in metabolic process in the plants. And third point, it cannot be replaced. It cannot be, the minerals cannot be replaced by the other elements. For example, the first older leaves consists of only some types of mineral elements, calcium, magnesium, and sulfurs. So absorption of only some types of other mineral elements, they cannot be replaced by this magnesium. They cannot be replaced by this calcium. They cannot be replaced by this sulfur, these mineral elements. It cannot be replaced by the other elements in the older leaves. In the older leaf, the process are involved the minerals based on the essentialities. Then fourth one is say deficiency makes some types of deficiencies due to caused by this only symptoms. Symptoms appearing only chlorosis, that's a loss of the chlorophyll pigments. Loss of chlorophyll pigments and necrosis. Necrosis, so death of the chlorophyll pigments. Death of these chlorophyll pigments and stunted growth. Stunted growth, very short height of the plants occurs, that is stunted growth. The symptoms appearing only deficiency makes the plants impossible to complete their vegetative and reproductive phase. The vegetative system of only root system, stem system, and leaf. They cannot be impossible to complete the deficiency makes occurs only root system, stem system, and leaf. It may be absorption of only mineral nutrition elements. It involves only reproductive base also. To development of only growth and development occurs only essentialities. The essential mineral based on the essentialities. The first terms are not understood in the year of 1939. There are the 4 points occurs only based on the essentialities. The first one is elements necessary for growth and development. The second point, they should have direct role in metabolic activities of the plants. And third point, it cannot be replaced by the other elements. And fourth one is deficiency makes the plants impossible to complete their vegetative and reproductive phase. The second types of classification based on only quantity or amount of requirements. In plant nutrients. It may be 4 types. The first type is minerals. The second type is non-minerals. And third type is essential. And fourth type is non-essentials. First type is mineral nutrients. So nutrients absorbed from nutrients that are absorbed from soil and required and their required for growth and development. These mineral elements, these mineral nutrients are mineral elements obtained from this absorbed from only soil. Obtained from this only absorbed from only soil. For plant, some types of mineral elements found in only soil. The type of minerals, first classifications, some mineral elements are mineral nutrients. Mineral nutrients, so nutrients that absorbed from the soil. For examples, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. Calcium, magnesium, sulfur. For examples in the mineral elements, calcium, magnesium and sulfur and etc. These mineral elements are found in only soil. These mineral elements absorbed from only root air zones. Root air zone, the first mineral elements. The second one is non-mineral elements. The non-mineral elements, nutrients that absorb from atmosphere, air and water. Atmosphere, air and water, and they are required for growth and developments. Growth and developments. These non-mineral elements or non-minerals nutrients are found in only atmosphere, air. For example, nitrogen, carbon dioxide sources, and some types of water vapors, H2O, water vapors. That is H2O. The water is mostly present only in the soil particles, water. Then, for examples, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. These are only non-mineral elements. What are the non-mineral elements? Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So these carbons present only carbon dioxide. These carbon dioxide present only atmosphere, air. Atmosphere, air. So hydrogens, H2, water molecules, 2% water molecules. This hydrogen and oxygen more present only in waters. The non-mineral elements are found in only absorbed from the atmosphere, air and water. They are required for this growth and development of the plant body. For examples of the non-mineral elements, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. They are composed of only 94% of only present in only dry weight of the plant body. 95% of presence of the dry weight of the plant body, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. It's also framework of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Which one is a framework of carbohydrates? Mineral elements, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These three framework of carbohydrates. These carbohydrates, which are organic substances, are produced in plant body, and fat also produced in plant body, and proteins. Proteins also produce only non-mineral elements. So carbohydrates, fats and proteins. These are only organic substances. These organic substances are produced from only non-mineral elements. These non-mineral elements are absorbed from only atmosphere, air and water. For examples, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And third one is essential mineral nutrients. These essential mineral nutrients necessary for nutrients necessary for growth and development of the plant body. Growth and development of plant body. These essential elements is found in only nutrients necessary for growth and development of the plant body. So decrease the disease and caused by the symptoms and cure the disease are caused by the symptoms. It's very essential for this only essential mineral elements. These essential mineral elements based on the two types, based on the conditions, requirement for these minerals. For minerals, there are two types. The first one is macronutrients or macronutrients. Macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients and micronutrients. So macro is large quantities or higher concentrations. Higher concentration present in the plant cells. These macronutrients elements are found only in plant cells, present in plant cells, plant tissues, excess of 10 millimolar per kilograms. Excess or higher concentrations. Excess or higher concentration of 10 millimoles per kilograms. Or excess of 0.1 to 10 milligram per grams in dry weight of plant body. It's a macronutrition. So macro means larger or macro means higher concentration found in the plant tissue. These macronutrient elements are present in plant tissues, excess of only 10 millimoles per kilograms of dry weight, or excess of 0.1 to 10 milligrams per grams in dry weight. For examples, in the macronutrient elements, carbon, hydrogen, oxygens, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, calcium and magnesium. These 9 macronutrient elements are found in only in plants. 9. There are the out of 60 elements are found in only essential elements. 60 types of elements are found in only in plants. Out of 60 types of elements, only 70 types of elements found in only essential elements are in only in plants. There are 17 types of, out of 17 types of elements in essential elements, only 9 types of macronutrient elements are found in only in plants. The second one is micronutrient elements. So micro means small quantities or less than. Small quantity or less than. So the micronutrient elements are present in the plant tissues. Less than 10 millimoles per kilograms for dry weights. So only less than, the plant tissue contains only less than 10 millimoles per kilograms of dry weight, or less than 0.1 milligram per grams in dry weight. Dry weight of the plant body. There are 2 types of essential elements. What are the 2 types of essential elements? One is macronutrient elements, another one is micronutrient elements. So macronutrient elements, large quantities, either a higher concentration of macronutrient elements are found in the plant tissues. Excess of only 10 millimoles per kilograms in dry weight, or excess of 0.1 to 10 milligrams per grams in dry weight. For example, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. It's a framework of carbohydrate. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. It is a urea. So kinds of urea, sulfur, calcium, and magnesium. There are 9 elements are found in only macronutrient elements. Then micronutrient elements are small quantities, are less than concentration case. The plant tissue consists of only less than 10 millimoles per kilograms in dry weight, or less than 0.12 milligram per gram in dry weight. For examples, There are 8 elements are found in only in microelements. For example, microelements: nickels, molybdenum, sodium, nickel, molybdenum, sodium, copper, boron, chlorines, nickel, molybdenum, sodium, copper, boron, chlorine. These are, for example, for this only micronutrition elements. Micronutrition elements. So next one is non-essential elements. Non-essential elements means some plants are requirement for this only essential elements. Sometimes special plants are some special functioning process. Some special functioning process are involved only non-essential elements. Non-essential elements. The non-essential elements are also called unclassified. Unclassified mineral nutrients. Unclassified mineral nutrients. For these essential elements necessary for the growth of plant and development process, the plant body, but non-essential elements, so it's a presence of the plant body. It's a presence of the plant body, it growth and development, but some special plants are involved only, special type of functions occurring only non-essential elements of plant, non-essential elements. These for examples, unclassified mineral nutrition. These are only non-essential elements. There are the 4 types of non-essential elements are found in only silicon, copper, sodium and selenium. There are the 4 types of only non-essential elements. Non-essential. So what are the 4 types of non-essential elements? Silicon, copper, sodium and selenium. There are the 4 types of only non-essential elements. But if it occurs only silicons, so play important role in only pest resistance controls. Pest resistance to waterlogging, in the plant cells, plant cell wall of the plant body. For examples, in ecosystem. This ecosystem plants consist of only in unclassified minerals. Some special plants are found in only non-essential elements. In, for example, silicons. The silicons play important role in only pest resistance controls. To water lodging the plant cell wall. It requirement for this only ecosystem of the plant body. The third types of classifications of mineral elements based on only mobilities. Mobility means move from regions of root to stem to leaf. So movement of the only mineral nutrition elements from root region to stem region to leaf regions. They occurs only based on the mobilities. There are 2 types of only classified based on the mobility in mineral nutrients. The first one is active mobilities. The second one is relative immobilities. So active mobility means otherwise called active mobile minerals. These classified based on conditions. First occurs in symptoms. Varieties first occurs in symptoms. We can identify this only mobility based on the condition. The first active mobilities. For example, in green plants, root system. The root system absorbs only minerals. And old leaves and young leaves. So active mobility conditions. The active mobility conditions, absorption of minerals from the root air zones. So plants locate from only shoot system. There are calcium, magnesium and sulfur. Some other mineral nutrition elements. Plants locate to only second region of the root leaf system. Calcium, magnesium and sulfur. And the third region of the translocate from this only mineral nutrition, active mobilities. These regions that translocate to form only mineral nutrition. These regions active mobility of these regions. The minerals translocated or mobility condition from this only region of only root system to stem system, stems to old leaf, the old leaf to younger leaves, old leaf to younger leaves. This is first symptoms appearing. Symptoms, the first appearing in only old leaves, because mineral elements are moved from this only region of only old leaf to younger leaves. Region of older leaf to younger leaf. It process called active mobilities. Active mobilities. Next one is relative immobilities. Relative immobility. The relative immobilities occurs only in the plant leaf. It's an older leaf. It's a young leaves. Older leaves. Older leaves, the root system, the minerals absorbed from the root air zones, minerals absorbed from only root air zones, so translocate to form only older leaves. Older leaves do not translocate from this region of only older leaf to another leaves. Do not translocate from this one immobile nature of this only this region to this region. Do not only move from this only. Disease appearing, the symptoms appearing only younger leaves, because there is no only mineral nutrition occurs only younger leaf, because symptoms appearing. So more mineral nutrition occurs only younger leaves. There is no symptoms appearing only younger leaves, but symptoms appearing only older leaves. These less mineral nutrition elements are found in only older leaves. This less mineral nutrition translocate from this only region of only older leaf to younger leaf. There are two types of classification based on the mobility conditions: active mobility and relative mobilities. So active mobilities, the mineral nutrition translocate from this region of only older leaf to younger leaf. The symptoms appearing only older leaves. For examples, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But these relative immobilities condition. For example, calcium, sulfur, boron, cobalt. For these only immobilities of only mineral nutrition. What are the immobilities of mineral nutrition examples? Calcium, sulfur, boron, cobalt. So what are the active immobilities of mineral nutrition elements? Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, hydrogen, oxygen. These are only active mobilities. So active mobility symptoms appearing only older leaves. So next one is relative immobility symptoms appearing only younger leaves. So based on the conditions, classification based on the condition, mobility of mineral nutrition elements. The next one is the fourth type of classification based on the minerals in functions activities. Minerals, what are the functions activities of mineral elements? The first one is structural compounds of minerals. Some types of minerals are found in only structural due to the crust and form of only chemical compositions. For example, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. These are the four mineral elements are found only due to their abundance of the crust and the chemical composition. It may be occurs only changes in the structural occurs. Classification based on the function activities. Second point, enzyme functions. So what are the enzyme functions are involved only in mineral nutrition elements? For example, molybdenum, zinc, magnesium, and nickel. So molybdenum play important role in the nitrogenous enzyme during the reducing of only atmosphere nitrogen to ammonia. So nitrogen atmosphere, the free atmosphere nitrogen contains only 78%. This 78% of nitrogen is absorbed from only in leguminous plants. Nitrogens, these nitrogens convert to formula nitrate. This nitrate convert to formula ammonia, H4. It involves only in molybdenum's macromolecule elements. That's the enzyme function activities. The second one is zinc. Zinc is activated for the alcohol and dehydrogenase enzymes. This zinc is activated for alcohol, dehydrogenase, and carbonic anhydrase. So magnesium activates for the RUB carboxylase. So maximum magnesium is a framework of only found in only chlorophylls. only chlorophyll. It's a essential formation of chlorophyll. These magnesium mineral elements are essential formation of chlorophylls. Essential formation of chlorophyll activated for this only RUBB carboxylation and oxygenase and PEB carbonylase. Then one only photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis process in magnesium. So nickels consist of only urease and dehydrogenase. Urease and hydrogenase. Nickels very important role of only enzyme active functions consistent of urease and hydrogenase. Urease and hydrogenase. Third is osmotic potential. So osmotic potential. So potassium play important role of maintenance of osmotic potential of the cell. Osmotic potential of the cell in guard cells. In guard cells surrounded by this only feed substrate cells. The guard cells surrounded by this only feed substrate cells. It is hypotonic solutions. Hypotonic. This guard cell that is called hypertonics. Hypertonic solutions. So more contains of water and potassium plus. More contains of water and potassium ions. The potassium ions move from only region of only hypotonic solution to hypotonic solutions. The region of hypotonic solution to hypotonic. So water molecules move from only hypotonic solution to and hypertonic solution. This more concentration in the guard cells become only in fully turgidity. The guard cells become fully turgid in nature. That's a osmotic potential occurs. The potassium maintains the osmotic potential of the guard cells, absorption of only water and movements of stomata. The turgidity occurs due to osmotic potential. Turgidity occurs only due to osmotic potentials. More concentration here only guard cells become only turgid in nature. And fourth point, energy components. The energy components, for example, say magnesium play important role of only in chlorophyll during production process, and phosphorus the synthesis of only and formation of only ATP. It's ATP refers to adenosine triphosphate. So adenosine monophosphate gives plus adenosine diphosphate plus gives us to component adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate is a phosphate play important role of only energy formations. Energy formations. We will finish this only this topic. We will pass on the next class.